Breaking news out of South Korea. The North Korean delegation at the closing ceremony of the Winter Olympics Games say they're willing to talk to the U.S.
All right, joining us now, CNN military and diplomatic analyst, Rear Admiral John Kirby, and from Pyeongchang, South Korea, CNN correspondent Will Ripley. Will, first to you. Give us the news.
Hi, Victor. Well, I'm learning more about this meeting that happened about 4 hours ago here in Pyeongchang at an undisclosed location. The North Korean delegation telling their South Korean counterparts that they are willing to engage in talks with the United States. And South Korea's President Moon Jae-in now saying that those talks need to happen as soon as possible. Also, the North Koreans saying that they do acknowledge that in order for their relationship with South Korea to improve, they also need to improve their relationship with the United States. This is a dramatic shift in tone from the North Koreans, who just today put out a state media article threatening the U.S. over this latest round of sanctions, the heaviest sanctions ever imposed on North Korea, targeting their shipping industry, the illicit sea-to-sea transfers of raw materials that bring in money for their nuclear program. The North Koreans calling those sanctions tantamount to an act of war in their state media, but the delegation on the ground here clearly came with a message, and that message is that perhaps the time is now, or at least soon, for talks with the United States before this situation escalates even further. But a word of caution here, there are still major issues that divide the U.S. and South Korea and North Korea, the biggest of which North Korea's nuclear program. The United States insists on total denuclearization, and North Korea has stated repeatedly and consistently to me and Kim Jong-un in his public speeches, various government officials, various state media articles, they say they're absolutely not willing to give up their nuclear weapons. And so that big issue still divides all of the key stakeholders here, but at least for the time being, the North Koreans are saying that they are willing to talk with the U.S.
All righty. Hey, Rear Admiral John Kirby with us, too. And so, John, how likely, hearing all of that, how likely is it some conversations or dialogue would start between the U.S. and North Korea? And what would those talks look like?
Well, I hope it's very likely. I hope the Trump administration takes advantage of this opportunity. I think we all need to keep our expectations in check, though. I suspect that if there is any discussion, it'll be very basic and elemental in its form. It probably will be talks about future talks and that kind of thing. Maybe talking about a framework for discussions or sort of helping build an agenda for talks going forward. I doubt very seriously that any first meeting between the two sides will result in any major breakthroughs or negotiations. That's just not the way this kind of thing works. I think they'll be looking for opportunities to build confidence-building measures, put in place things that we can do to try to move the track going forward.
All righty. Will Ripley and John Kirby, we appreciate both of you so much. Thank you.